Frank. I'm Heather, one of the counselors here at the Drug and Alcohol Center.
Hello, Heather.
How you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Do you mind if I call you Frank, or do you want me to call you Mr. Duffy?
Frank's fine.
Okay, great, great. So what brings you in here today?
Well, my wife says that I have a drinking problem, and she's going to leave me if I don't stop drinking.
Okay. Well, before we go any further, I want to go over a couple of things with you because I want you to feel comfortable about our counseling. I want you to think of our counseling as this is our own little secret vault and nobody's going to get in or get out. It's basically a confidentiality statement with a big asterisk behind it, because I do have to let you know there are a couple of instances where I would have to break confidentiality. Nothing for you to be concerned about, but I do just need to let you know about that. So one would be if you sign a release to let your other medical doctors know what's going on, or if you wanted me to talk to a family member about you. But I want to let you know you can also revoke that and change it at any time.
Okay.
Another reason would be if I need to talk to my supervisor in my office or somebody in billing, but it wouldn't be like I'd be going over great details about our session, just something minor if they needed to know for like billing and things like that. Also, if I were going to believe that you're going to harm someone, I would legally have to let that person know. Or if I thought that you were going to harm yourself, if there was an elderly person or a child involved, and really last but not least, if a judge, if there was a court order and a judge court ordered me to give your records, I would have to do that. Of course, I'm not going to do it willingly, but if I have to, I have to. So I did want to just let you know about that, but do you have any questions about confidentiality?
No.
No? So you're okay with what
Yes.
I've told you? Okay. But just so you know, your best interest is what's important to me, so I'm not going to tell anything that I don't need to tell unless it's mandated for me to do that. And if you don't mind, while we're doing our sessions, I'm going to take some notes.
Okay.
Just so we have something to go with in the future.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your situation and why Amanda is concerned about your drinking?
Well, my wife says that I have a problem. I don't think so, that I have a problem drinking, that she says that I'm drinking too much, and it's that she's gonna leave me, divorce me, and she's stopping us from even having a baby until I'm done drinking.
What do you do for work, Frank?
Tow truck driving. I'm tow cars, tow truck driver.
How long have you been doing that?
A little over 10 years.
And is it something that you see yourself doing for a while?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love it.
Work's going good?
Oh, very busy. Too busy.
Focusing on your drinking, can you tell me when's the first time you ever had a drink?
Yeah, when I was 13, I drank some wine at my bar mitzvah. I always remember it was Manischewitz wine, and it led me to I drank wine.
And when you were that young, was there anything else you were drinking besides wine?
Of course, beer. I went to beer.
How has that progressed over time?
Now I drink rum and Coke, the top shelf rum, not the cheap stuff. I like the good stuff. And Coke, rum and Coke.
So your drinking has progressed to hard liquor, not just the wine and the beer?
Right.
So if you thought about over the last month, about how much drinking would you say that you've done in the last month?
Well, I buy a case at Sam's Club, so say 6, 8, about 200 drinks.
And in the last couple of weeks?
Last couple of weeks, about a case, bottle.
Do you drink on a regular basis, like every day?
Yeah. Well, after work, especially after a long day, I go home and I drink, just to get that stress and relief off of me. I like to drink.
What would you say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I like to have a drink.
What would you say your maximum alcohol intake is on a daily basis?
I would say the bottles are about, almost a full bottle of rum.
Do you ever crave alcohol?
Well, I crave alcohol when sometimes I'll crave it after a long day of work and stress from my wife. I'll want to have a drink.
When you have one drink, can you stop after one drink?
I could, but why should I?
Okay.
I like it.
So you mentioned that you started drinking when you were 13 years old. And you used to drink beer and wine, and now you're on to what you said is top shelf hard liquor.
Right.
Only the good stuff.
Only the good stuff. That's right.
Have you found over the years that your alcohol intake has increased?
Well, yeah, I don't. I mean, my wife says that it has. I don't think it has.
Can you tell me a little bit about why you think it's increased?
Well, like I said, my wife says that it's increased, but going on with the day-to-day bills and thinking of all the different what life brings on. My job is stressful, and maybe I've had a couple more than I should, but I don't think so. My wife says so, but I feel I'm drinking about the same.
Right. Can you remember the last time that you went ever without a drink?
Oh, yeah, actually, one time I went to go seek counseling, and me and her just didn't click. And right after that, I went over to a bar and got wasted. I had a drink right after that, after the counseling session.
Right. So when you went to that counseling session that day, how long had you gone without a drink that day?
Oh, well, it was about 12 hours, give or take.
Have you ever had withdrawals like going that long without a drink?
No, because I'm drinking.
Well, in the 12 hours, like, did you feel like during that 12 hours that you were going withdrawals, like, did you feel like you needed that drink?
No.
So you mentioned that you went to counseling one time and you failed on that day, unfortunately. Can you tell me why you didn't go back?
Well, like I said, it wasn't like this, so why I didn't go back, I really didn't. It wasn't something that I had to do. Like my wife now is making me. She's threatening to divorce divorce me. Amanda's threatened to divorce and leave me and all this stuff, so.
So you went before for yourself, and now you're coming because you feel like you have an ultimatum?
Right.
Okay. So obviously Amanda's worried about your drinking. Has it ever got you in trouble?
Yeah. Once I was at a bar and I was drinking and I got into a fight.
Have you ever suffered any head trauma, or have you ever had any blackouts during your drinking?
Yeah, my wife, one time I don't remember what it was, but I ended up, my wife woke me up in the lawn and she said that felt that I blacked out, and all I remember was waking up in the front yard in the lawn.
Okay. At home, how has your drinking affected your relationship?
Well, I feel it doesn't affect it's affecting my relationship as far as you know, with Amanda, you know, we're always fighting back and forth, you know, and her wanting to pour my alcohol out, throw the bottles away, you know, just verbally, nothing physical.
Okay, so you said it's never gotten physical. So let's just summarize what we've talked about so far in my notes here. So you started drinking at the age of 13.
Right.
You started out drinking wine and beer. It progressed to harder liquor. You don't go a day without a drink. You're doing multiple drinks on a daily basis. And through the years, you've had to up your drinking to get the buzz that you need. Is that?
Well, as I'm getting older, I feel like I'm needing more. I mean, you know, it's nothing wrong with people who smoke marijuana and, you know, do other drugs, and drinking's legal.
Have you ever tried to stop drinking?
No. Why? Why would I?
So, in the last month, how would you say your mood has been?
Well, it's been happy, very happy.
Okay. Do you ever have feelings of depression?
No.
Do you ever have any problems with sleeping?
Well, yes and no, because if I do, I'll just drink a little bit more until I fall asleep.
Okay. Do you ever hear any voices?
No.
Do you worry about things obsessively?
No.
Do you use any drugs?
No. Well, in the past, I've smoked weed in the past. When I was back in college, I smoked just to concentrate, to pass the test. I was taking a test, but no.
But now?
No, because my job does extensive drug screens through my job, so I just drink. It's legal.
So you said you're a tow truck driver. Have you ever gone to work intoxicated?
Oh, of course not. No way.
Do you ever drink first thing in the morning?
No. Heck no.
How do you see your alcohol usage at this time?
Don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's fine.
We've gone over a lot of information today. I just want to ask you, what is your goal? What do you hope to achieve from our counseling sessions?
Well, my goal is to make my wife happy, and as long as she's happy, happy wife, happy life.
Okay. So I'd like for you to do something for me this week. If you can think about for me during this week, what you think what would change in your life if you weren't drinking on a daily basis. And if you could do that for me, think about that. If you want to jot some things down so that when you come back next week, hopefully you're going to come back next week, we'll discuss what things that you think might change in your life if you weren't drinking. And if you can, on your way out today, if you could just schedule that appointment for next week. So hopefully I'll see you next week. And like I said, if there's anything that you think that you're not happy with our communicating, please bring that to my attention, because I want our counseling to help, and I do want to help you achieve your goal. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
so much, Fred.
Thank you.
We'll see you next
All
week.
right, thank you, Heather.